Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Zhiyuan Wang. Thank you so much for having me here. The title of my thesis is The Impact of Users-Generated Content Perception and Key Opinion Leaders' Persuasion on Chinese Students' Motivation and Decision to Study Abroad in Thailand, a case study of RED platform in China. Firstly, let me introduce what RED is. RED is a media platform, refers to one of the most popular self-publishing platforms in China. At present, it has 300 million monthly active users, with over 80% of them being born after 1990. In the minds of many consumers, RED is the consumer decision platform. Let's start with the context. As China's cooperation with Thailand deepens under the Belt and Road Initiative, more and more Chinese students are choosing Thailand for higher education. Because Thailand offers lower cost, easier application processes, and cultural familiarity compared to Western countries. By 2020, there were already 40,000 Chinese students in Thailand, and this number is growing. But here is the gap. While students heavily use social media like the RED platform to gather study abroad information, we know little about how UGC and KOLs on RED platforms influence their decisions. UGC is user-generated content, and KOL is key opinion leaders. So my research aims to fill this gap, which is crucial for universities and educators wanting to attract more international students. I set three main goals: to study how students perceive the credibility and usefulness of UGC on RED platform, and how KOL's persuasion affect their motivation to study in Thailand. To explore how UGC perception and KOLs influence their final decision to study in Thailand. To understand if motivation to study abroad directly impacts this decision, let me introduce the literature review. This thesis explores UGC, covering its definition, characteristics, and motivation. It notes the absence of a scientific UGC definition, citing scholars' views on creation-related factors. Motivations for UGC creation, such as material rewards and personal expression, are discussed. The thesis also examines UGC's influence on consumer behavior in social e-commerce, affecting brand reputation and user trust, and its role in providing study abroad information. Additionally, it introduced the TAM model, KOL concept, and persuasive communication and motivation theories as the theoretical basis, then develops three hypotheses. First one is perceived credibility and usefulness of the information on RED influence the impact of KOLs. The second one is impact of KOLs on RED has a positive effect on motivation for study abroad in Thailand. The last one is the motivation for study abroad has a positive effect on the decision to study abroad in Thailand for Chinese students. The theoretical framework of this thesis is as follows. And now I will continue to talk about methodology. The participants are 171 Chinese students currently studying in Thailand, aged 18 to 37. They all use RED platform in 2022 to 2023. I use purposive and convenient sampling to find them. I collected data through a survey with 38 questions divided into 5 sessions. They are demographics, perception of UGC credibility, usefulness, KOL persuasion, study abroad motivation, which is consist of 4 dimensions. The last session is final decision to study in Thailand. I checked reliability with Crown-based alpha, all above 0.7, and then use stepwise regression analysis to test hypotheses. And then I will talk about the findings. The descriptive findings reveal that majority of the respondents somewhat agreed with the statements about the information about studying in Thailand promoted in RED platform. And majority of the respondents somewhat agree with the statements about the impact of KOLs on RED on the decision to study abroad of respondents. Then, the respondents somewhat agree with the statements about motivation for study abroad. They agree with the statements about their decision to study abroad in Thailand, and they had a decision to study abroad in Thailand at a high level. In this study, the data collected was analyzed through SPSS, and the three hypotheses were tested. Finally, the following results were obtained. Stepwise regression analysis revealed that the credibility and usefulness of the information on RED are significant positive predictors of the impact of KOLs. When examining the impact of KOLs, the findings revealed that credibility and usefulness are the significant positive predictors of the impact of KOLs. The regression analysis revealed that the impact of KOLs on RED is significant positive predictors of Chinese students' motivation for study abroad. In general, the impact of KOLs on RED is accountable for Chinese students' motivation for study abroad at a rate of 47.5%, which is considered in the median level. When examining the impact of each dimension of the motivation for study abroad on the decision to study abroad in Thailand for Chinese students, the findings revealed that the personal growth and career development are significant predictors of the decision to study abroad in Thailand for Chinese students. However, world enlightenment and entertainment are not significant predictors of the decision to study abroad in Thailand for Chinese students. The non-significance of world enlightenment may stem from Thailand's cultural proximity to China, reducing perceived novelty compared to Western destinations. Additionally, 55% of the respondents held bachelor's degree, suggesting a focus on career advancement over cultural exploration and entertainment. Whereas UGC mainly covers study and life in Thailand, since there is little information on world enlightenment and entertainment, students don't consider them when deciding to study in Thailand. Lastly, I will talk about the benefits and implications of the research. For educational institutions in China, focus on UGC quality, encourage Korean students to share real, detailed stories on RED platforms. Credibility and usefulness are key. Partner with KOLs. Collaborate with popular study abroad bloggers to create content highlighting personal growth and career benefits, which resonate most with students. Use RED platform strategically, since RED users trust peer opinions more than advertisements. Build campaigns around students' testimonial and practical tips. For future research, we can expand to other platforms like Douyin or Weibo and expand to students from other countries studying in Thailand, so not just focus on Chinese. And add qualitative methods like interviews to understand students' deeper emotions and doubts about studying abroad. In short, RED platforms UGC credibility and KOLs played a big role in shaping Chinese students' motivation and decision to study in Thailand. By focusing on useful, trustworthy content and partnering with influential KOLs, Thai universities can better attract international students. Thank you so much. That is all for my presentation.